Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Xwf Podcast with your host, Chronic Chris Page, them no good bastards, Thunder Knuckles, Bobby Bourbon, and yes, if available, Bearded War Pig. And the action starts now.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Xwf Podcast. Chris Page here in the driver's seat on a Sunday afternoon, Mother's Day, actually. So happy Mother's Day out there to all the XWF moms within the Fed. Special show today, TK. Burbs is kind of MIA, getting some much needed rest. We've not done a quote unquote results show in several weeks, so we're kind of getting back in the mix today. How are things with you, sir?
Things are all right. Can't complain. You know how it is.
I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, I mean a New York minute, maybe we could almost say. We've got a couple of special guests that are going to be popping in and out. First, let me go ahead and bring in half owner of the XWF, I would say, Theo Pryce. Man, thanks for taking a little bit of time on this Mother's Day afternoon to chat with us.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. Anytime you guys want me to join, I'm always happy to do so. So thank you.
Oh man, we're always happy to have you guys on board. And sitting in the co-host seat, obviously Theo Pryce is co-host number one, co-host number two today. Let's welcome him in. Is one of the GOATs and arguably a legend here in the XWF. He's a good friend of the show. Welcome, Doc, man. King Doc, welcome to the show.
Hi, everybody. Good to be here.
It's good to have everybody here for a little bit today so we can kind of get back into the swing of things. TK had a rough little work schedule the last couple of weeks. We do have some new content that's coming out that's going to be really good. First thing, let's cruise back because we did not have a show almost 4 weeks ago. We've got a couple of pieces of information to touch on. The first I want to talk about, guys, is the tag team turmoil match that took place on Warfare several weeks back. The number one contenders were crowned. The Descendants, Lakana and Marf, come out on top in this affair. We had 6 teams involved here, and of those 6 teams, we started off with the Dream of Maniacs and the Disintegrators. The Maniacs went over in that particular part of the match, and then the Thugs came out, and the Thugs got a win over the Maniacs. The Descendants were out next, and they took out the Thugs. They then took out RL and Demos, and then they took out Cooper and Stone. TK, this sets the stage for what's going to be your Leap of Faith championship match is the No Good Bastards versus the Descendants. And how are you feeling about that?
Well, the Descendants put in really good work, knocked off a lot of teams in the match itself. I can't wait. I think it's going to be a lot of fun at Leap of Faith.
Mr. Pryce, let's go to you first on this one. Tag team division is something that you've stated several times it's near your heart, and I'm kind of like digging it too because I think that if the division gets off the ground further, then the sky's the limit. So this was like a pecking order match, basically. So talk to me about your views and your thoughts on all the teams that were involved in it, all the way down to the winners in Marf and Lakana.
Yeah, I thought everybody who participated in it did a good job. I think Marf and Lakana have faced TK and Robbie once before, and I think it was a triple threat match, and I think they came in third in that match, right? So to see where they are now compared to them, I think is huge. They are definitely not the same team they were. Individually, they've gotten better, and I think as a team, they've gotten better. I think going into the pay-per-view, it's going to be a really interesting match. I think they work very well together as characters. I think TK and Robbie really, really work well together as characters. They're able to kind of just do almost anything role play wise, and it works for them. So I think it's going to be a really fun match. It's going to be a really good match. I'm looking forward to it. I hope no matter who wins, that we can see more out of those two teams, because I think they are, far and away the strongest tag teams we have in the Fed right now.
I don't think anybody would disagree with you right now as far as active teams that are actively competing. They're definitely two of the strongest, man. Doc, let's go over to you with the Descendants picking up this big win and stamping their ticket to Leap of Faith.
Tag team turmoil is the perfect name for what is going on right now, because there's so many tag teams that are just rising up right now, and everybody went towards that event right there to become number one contenders to face the No Good Bastards of Leap of Faith. Descendants coming out on the top. I can't say it's a surprise to me, because dating back to Snow Job, when Theo brought up the triple threat, it was Continuum, Corey and I, versus the No Good Bastards versus Marfin Lacona, the Descendants. And to say they were a different team then, I can't really say, because I know they were tough then. It's say it, Ned K, nothing to sneeze at. And all that match was high intense no matter what, because we had to go in there and defend our titles. Great teams at that time. So if Marfin Lacona have improved since then, and they're going to face the No Good Bastards at Leap of Faith, I think it's going to be a stellar match, because it's going to be definitely the two top teams right now going head to head, and they're going to have their chance from Snow Job to go head to head, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, prove who's the best.
I completely agree there. This is the two top teams right now in the Fed, and let me kick this over to Bobby Bourbon, man. Thanks for coming in. I'm sorry if I missed you on the intro, brother. How are you today, sir? And we're talking about the Descendants picking up that tag team turmoil win several weeks back on Warfare. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. Good morning.
Well, good morning to you, sir.
5:20 in the afternoon, but sure.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Do you have any comments on the Descendants picking up that tag team turmoil victory?
Yeah. Strong showing by a lot of the teams that went through tag team turmoil. But also strong work, Marf and Lacona. They've just been enhancing their own game. It's when I first came in through the Fed, a lot of it was one and done. If the match happened, that was it. You didn't go and have a rematch, anything like that. But, that was just the attitude. That the game was over with. But you had some of the outliers, like some of the better players, they would go against each other multiple times. Just because they had fun with it, and to see that's evolved. That's not the case anymore. That's also awesome. But yeah, Marf and Lacona, look forward to playing with them some more. I definitely had some fun with Marf on the boards with the 24/7 title. Hopefully, I will not be holding that much longer. Somebody should be challenging me any moment. Not to my own horn. But I do look forward to the match, and strong work to everybody that competed in tag team turmoil.
It was definitely one of the matches that set the pecking order for the division moving forward, and we're in for a treat when we get the Descendants and the Naked Bastards as a two teams versus the triple threat encounter that we got at Snow Job. The other piece of information coming out of the last cycle that we didn't get to cover, TK, let me throw it over to you with the Universal Championship match and CCP and Demos. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Savage that we did not cover had that as the opening match of the card. Really good showing from Demos. Take a look from when he challenged Lachlan when he first came into the Fed. Then evolved from that point, now facing Page for the uni. he put out some good work, and I think he learned some lessons that he showed from the last time he tried. I think it was a really good match, well written. Kick it over to Doc.
Demus is always a presence, man. Like he's always attacking. Like he, you brought up him fighting Lackland for the Universal title. Did he win the Battle Royal to have that chance? He won a shot regardless. So then that didn't stop him. He went on, had a tag team with Jimson. He was always a presence. He went on and won the television title. Had it for so long. Was a presence. Now he's back in the Universal title picture again. The guy is always on the attack and always improving. He keeps his window open too. He's always able to adjust. And I've said before how important it is to be able to evolve and adjust to what would fit with your writing and be able to win around here, because if you can't evolve, if you just stuck on the same thing for a long time, I don't see it becoming relevant, but it's going to be tough to keep up because everybody's evolving all the time. It's fun to watch.
Bobby Bourbon, man. Let me shoot it over to you real quick. You and Demos had a side wager here. Is that correct?
We did in character. We definitely had a side wager. Just have a little fun with it. And the wager was if he lost, he couldn't challenge any member of Bob for a championship. But I look forward to seeing what Demos comes up with in the future. He's definitely somebody who's having fun with the Fed, and you can tell. But I look forward to seeing how he subverts that little caveat and that wager somehow, sometime in the.
I had a lot of fun with Demos. It was a fun 2 weeks. Playing the game with him, and I hope that I've taught him some things, and I do think that he brought some shit. On that night was not good enough to get past me for the Universal Championship. That's not to say that he doesn't put it together and figure out how to crack that code. I'll use me as an example. It took me over a year and 3 or 4 months to put it all together, to get it done and win the championship. Winning the championship's easy. Keeping it's a whole nother ball game, and this was just another piece to that equation. So kudos to Demos for giving me a good fight, and I hope you like the match, and that you come out stronger on the other end. Getting through that, let's roll into let's go into Mayday at Ye Old Commune. Eventually, I'll be able to pronounce that all the way through. A stellar shove it show that took the place of a Savage Saturday Night. This was the brainchild of Dolly Waters and R.L. Edgar / R.L. Edgar, excuse me. Incredible show. We did a podcast with the build up to it, and the show. It's a standalone event here, guys. We started it off with your first championship match is Atara and Dean Rose for the Internet Championship. End of the day on this one, you start off on a night of championship matches minus a battle royal. You start off in your first match, you have a title change hands. Atara knocks off Dean Rose. TK, let's talk about that for a second. Where's your head at with that?
Well, Dean Rose set the internet on fire, did he not? Taking the internet title from Barney Green and really staying hot on Twitter and on the boards. Here we had Atara, who is a prominent figure on Twitter for the XWF, right? Excuse me. And she pulls it out here. I can't say that I'm surprised. Atara, like I said, big internet presence for the XWF. She did great. She put out one hell of a fucking promo. I really enjoyed the shit out of that one.
Bobby Bourbon.
Yeah, DK put it best. It was a good match from the both of them. And Atara just came out ahead.
Doc, anything you want to cover on this one?
Well, we all knew coming into this that it was going to be pretty epic. Like, we both know Dean Rose's presence, and we both know Atara's presence, and what comes down to it when it comes to the internet title. And knew it was going to be fun. And, like you guys said, Atara come out on top, and I think she's really holding that title. It'll be fun to watch.
I agree. It moved us into the second match on this card. Another championship opportunity. It's a television championship. It's Marf defending against Bobby Elite's own Andre Dixon. This is a thumbtack match and several thumbtack spots throughout. End of the day here, we walk away with a new television's champion in Andre Dixon, bringing that particular championship into the Bobby Elite organization. Doc, I'm going to start off with you this go around, and then Bobby, I'm going to come to you next. Andre Dixon is the television's champion and essentially the face of Saturday nights right now. Where are you at with that? Chat me up.
Well, Marv come out winning that television title and had a great challenge right away. And I think it was a good challenge. And I think these two are pretty evenly matched. And I don't think it's over because I believe Marv opted in again for a leap of faith to win a rematch for that title. So he's not out of the picture. He's probably going to get that rematch eventually, which is going to be another fun cycle to watch because I think both of those two are great contenders and great challenges for each other. Andre's been hot. Marf has been hot. Marf's taken off in the tag team division with Lycana too. Both of these guys since they've come have shown great growth, and both are title contenders. So it's gonna be fun to watch.
I agree. I think that that they're very, very good. They're very well matched up opposite each other for sure. Bobby Bourbon, your thoughts here on Bobby Lee taking another championship into the mix, man?
Well, it's a big win for Dixon. I mean, beating Marv isn't really the easiest thing in the world. He's a strong role player. He's a good writer. Um, this is one I was looking forward to. All the credit in the world to both competitors because they both brought it and they put on a show for us. They were very entertaining. The match itself, as was written out, also very entertaining. A lot of strong spots in there. Great work on the match rating. TK, what do you think?
Now, this is the part I got to say, I think you guys got it all covered. But it was a good match to read. Both guys put in a lot of work. You could tell Marf wanted to hold it, but Dixon had something to prove. All in all, great showing from both guys.
It led us to the next match on this card was one that when we were talking about on the podcast leading into could have easily main evented and could main event probably any pay-per-view. It was the tag team championship. There was them No Good Bastards against Ruby and Centurion. Personally, here I think that this was a phenomenally role played match by both teams. I thought that Centurion and Ruby really brought some shit. I thought that them No Good Bastards continued to impress from all aspects of their game as a team. You can tell that they're gelling really well. And above all else, both teams showed that they were enjoying the writing that they were doing for the match, which made it that much better. And the match itself was written like a fucking main event. Doc, let me go to you first, and then we'll come around to the champions. Let's give me your thoughts on Centurion and Ruby versus them No Good Bastards.
I was just hyping up the tag team division. I think it's going in a great direction. I think a lot of people are popping up. Centurion and Ruby, I think, were great challengers for the No Good Bastards coming out of the gate winning them titles, and they proved it. You know what I mean? They took them to the limit. I thought it was a close match, and a great defense for them No Good Bastards. It solidifies their defense. They won the titles. They defended them. It's in concrete now. Move on. Who's next? Lacana and Marf at Leap of Faith. I'm really looking forward to that one because, like I said, it's all coming around the circle, and two best teams are meeting at the pay-per-view. It's gonna be fun.
If I'm them No Good Bastards, and I mean, obviously they're here. We're going to get to both those guys in just a second. Like this, I'm on top of the world right now because I've just come off of successfully retaining now against Centurion and Ruby. I've won them from what many people thought was an unstoppable team in Continuum, and now they're full steam ahead. The Descendants are directly in front of them, and we're in for a fucking showdown. Um, TK, I'm gonna come to you first, and then we'll shoot around to Bobby. And still your world tag team champions. Let's talk about Centurion and Ruby, and how did you how do you like the match itself? Rainbow laser death sequence at the end there, 1, 2, 3, champions retain.
Yeah, Sint and Ruby put in a lot of good work. I was a little worried going into week 2. I was like, wow, they dropped some good shit. Sint is one of my favorite writers, even though I give him a lot of shit. I just want to say that. But Ruby really showed that she can shine on any show. She did that before, but up against us, I saw it firsthand. It's way different when you see it firsthand. Uh, but they did a lot of good work. Yeah.
Bobby Bourbon, and still.
It was a good match. I had a lot of fun playing with Sent and Ruby. Sent's always been somebody that I've appreciated having matches with, reading his work, competing with, and working against. Ruby also strong work on her behalf. I consider it, a token and a feather in our cap that we beat both of them. They're a solid tag team. Um, I look forward to seeing what they do next. Especially out of Scent and especially out of Ruby. Um, Great work out of both you guys. It was a tight one. We were definitely sweating bullets on that one. Me and TK were trying to, turn the gas up so that we were putting out some fire to make sure that we were competing with them. And all the credit in the world to them.
It's arguably one of the. I mean, again, it's a great tag team match that continues to build the division that dates back to last year. It's like every title match on every big show is seemingly just getting like better and better and better and better, and that's always something that's positive and beautiful to see. This match, bar none, it solidifies them No Good Bastards 100%. And we moved from the successful title retention of them No Good Bastards into the number one contenders match for Leap of Faith. Uh, we've had Mikey Kincaid. We've got Robert the Omega Main. We've got Jenny Mist. We've got Lacana. We've got Betsy Granger. We've got Miss Fury, Barney Green, Seal, Charlie Dimes, Reggie Estrada, and the surprise entrant that were all involved in this thing. To the winner go the spoils. Robert Main ends up taking the battle royal and stamping his card to Leap of Faith. But there were some strong showings here from Sil and Miss Fury and Lacana. All 4 of these individuals brought their shit in different ways. Even Betsy, I know Betsy was on vacation. But this was, as far as a battle royal is concerned, set the stage for Leap of Faith. Bobby Bourbon, let me come to you first.
Well, going into this one, a lot of people had Maine picked as a front runner. Seeing Maine come back and just pour his heart out on the boards was awesome. Strong showings by a lot of people involved here. The mystery entrant was a little mysterious. Um, I think a big story in this match, besides Maine winning, is also the rise of Still, because Sill is the one who basically did all the heavy lifting and eliminated a lot of people going through the match. So I'm really interested to see what happens in, of course, the World Championship match between Maine and Page. But I'm interested to see what happens with Sill moving forward, and what he's going to be doing to contribute to the Fed, and what challenges he's going to take on. TK, what do you think?
Well, I asked for it on the podcast. I said I really hope a newcomer comes into the mix here and lays waste to the field, and that's pretty much what we got. So eliminating 5 people, that's a big deal, New into the Fed, really making a splash. A lot of good showings from a lot of people. A lot of people put out a lot of work, and it was really good stuff. The top 4 people out of this thing really shined. Miss Fury, Lycana, Sil, and Robert Maine, of course, who ends up taking the win here. Everybody did good stuff leading in, and the match itself was really cool, the way eliminations happened and stuff. So,
Doc, talk to me about the Battle Royal.
Which battle royal?
The King Doc Invitational Battle Royal.
Oh, that one. Okay. I like when everybody steps up, man. That was a great showing. Like you guys were talking about Sil. He he's a newcomer. He everybody, like Bobby said, everybody kind of had their thoughts on Robert Maine coming back and trucking through, but he had a couple roadblocks along the way. And Miss Fury had a great showing, like Hana, everybody. It's fun when everybody just brings their all, for what could be,
At the end of the day, it's Maine who takes it, and post match, the 2 things. Paige comes out, and we get a little teaser of Leap of Faith, and doing some dirty deeds, lays out Robert Maine. But after that, as Paige is leaving, you've got RL Edgar circling back around from that previous segment to build a little hype for the match on Warfare. He lays me out with my own finish, which I thought was really good touch, because Paige was being cocky, arrogant, looking past him, and that's a easy reminder that that there's someone else that's potentially could be playing spoiler. It led us to the main event, which calling it right now, probably match of the year as it stands. A lot of implications within this match between Alias and Doc for the Extreme Championship. Alias, after one hell of a contest as far as match writing goes, ends up, slaying the King. And I say, to the victor go the spoils. Not only does a rare defeat go onto Doc's record, Alias procures the 24/7 briefcase with a 5th successful title defense. Doc, I'm coming to you last on this one. TK, I want to come to you first, man. Let's get into this. Chat me up on Doc and Alias.
Wow is the first word that should come out of all of our mouths. This match was well written, and I want to thank the match writer, because they really put in a lot of work here. There's a lot of character stuff going on in here too. So, Doc and Alias both really crashed the boards. Like, you want to talk about 2 stories that are really good going up against each other? That's what we got, and it did not disappoint on the role play side. It didn't disappoint with the match outcome either. Just saying. Really good match. Alias picks up a very, very, very big win here. I'm going to kick it over to Robbie.
This was a tight match. I don't envy the judges whatsoever on this one, because trying to pick one or the other between all the effort that both Doc and Alias left on the boards there had to be difficult. Doc was writing some phenomenal stuff, and I'm not just kissing his ass because he's here. Alias was writing phenomenal stuff, and I'm not just kissing his ass because he's not here. It came down to, I don't know. It came down to some kind of X factor, because I was on the fence. I couldn't call this one. Great work from both guys on the boards. And thanks from both guys, like, for the great work they put forward on the boards. The match itself, hugely epic, super entertaining to read. And it came down to that ending that was just, it was bittersweet if you're a Doc fan. It was phenomenal if you weren't.
I mean, Doc, you were a part of this thing, man. Let's get your perspective on what was arguably match of the year right now in the Fed, man. Talk to us about it.
What a great cycle it was, man. I had a lot of fun with Alias. Congratulations to him. Uh, you know, what I really like is just how important this match was. Like, it was his fifth defense, and I think we talked in the previous podcast of how this match came about and everything like that, and uh, we had some lead up to it, so it was a lot of fun to finally get down to it, and I can't wait to see what comes next, because like I said, it could have went either way. Either Alias got his briefcase or he didn't, and he did. So what's going to come next? Because what comes with that briefcase? Nothing good. So.
But he who has the case has the power, right? Like, he's made no bones about it. Nobody's safe. If you're a champion right now, like, he's got his sights pretty much locked in on everybody.
Right.
So let's Doc, I'm gonna start with you here. Let's talk about this overall show, from top to bottom, man. For a shove it was pay-per-view quality. Give me your overall Mayday thoughts, and where you see the shove it shows going from here.
Kudos to the dude that ran it. Edgar, Dolly. Uh, like you said, it's pay-per-view quality. Pretty much every match, if it wasn't a title match, it had something to do with the title. The Battle Royal was number one contendership for the uni. So, for the effort there that everybody put in, and the effort that came with the results and everything like that, for it to be a standard, for sure. We were talking before about it's setting the bar for shove-its and everything like that. It makes me want to rumble myself. So.
No doubt. Bobby, man, let's go to you for the overall view and comparison of Shove It, man. This Mayday event's in the books.
Big event. It had that big show feel, and it delivered on that. It delivered on that from the match writing, from all the people who participated. Probably one of the biggest shove-its I've seen in a while. One of the most impactful shove-its. I haven't seen a shove-it this large since, I think, the Sun Don't Shine Doc shove-it. So that's my opinion on it. TK, what'd you think?
All the way from the crowd surfing to all the developments in between. We had Paige and Edgar setting up their match on Warfare. It was an all around great show. R.L. Edgar really put in a lot of work on this thing and got it up on time before midnight Eastern Standard. He's very proud of that, and he should be, for such a great show. All around, you can't talk about this one enough. The world at the end, the world became Alias's oyster, and you know, great show.
Definitely one of those oh shit, look out moments, because the proverbial shit's gonna hit the fan moving forward. Which is exactly where we're going right now. We're going into Wednesday Night Warfare, um, which was live from Seattle on Wednesday, the May 5th. We've got 6 matches on this show. We kick it off with an actual handicap match with Stephen Cooper and Eobard Stone taking on Thad. This match, it was really well written, really solid groundwork for what's to come. We see, ejections from ringside. You've got a little bit of everything in this match that leads to a disqualification, which, I'm not gonna shit on the DQ finish because it works here. It doesn't you know you don't have Eobard Stone and Cooper taking a definitive loss in a match opposite that. It sets up potentially some pretty interesting shit post pay-per-view. uh TK, let me come over to you first. Let's talk about your view and opinion on this opening handicap match.
I really like the DQ finish. It works here, like you said. Going into this, you'd think, oh, that is pretty, pretty, pretty fucked, right? 2 guys who just competed in Turmoil. They work as a team. You see that written down, and you're like, oh man, that's in trouble here. And he did get into trouble, and he picked up a win, but via DQ.
We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the aftermath on this, and this is where Avalanche kind of made their statement. They left Mr. Duke laying here, and that's not something that happens fairly frequently at all. Even with Ned being a smart ass or a dick ass heel, having a pinfall counted on his upcoming challenger. Bobby Bourbon, man, where you at on this one?
Fun read. Not really surprised by the outcome. Surprised by how the outcome played out with the DQ finish. Great work. I think a lot of what could be said about this match has already been said.
Rolling in next, there's a series of segments, and it's more character development for the Robert Main, Chris Page angle. We got all of Bobby Elite showing up via limo, getting ready for arguably a big money main event with the Universal Championship at stake. It took us into Dick Powers and Kieran Overton. I love the Dick Powers role play. Noah, you're fucking aces for this character. It just always makes me laugh. Gives me good times every time I read them. Kieran, no slouch at all by any means. Dick Powers is taking the win here. More of an enhancement match on the show. TK, I don't know if you got anything you want to add to this. Bobby, we'll shoot to you next. Where you at with this one?
All I'll say is I'm a big Dick Powers mark. Seeing him go over was quite the treat. That's all I got. I just marked pretty much.
Bobby?
I think that this match was just a showcase of Dick Powers. I mean, you had the toughness, the hardness of Dick Powers. You had the longevity of Dick Powers. You had the beauty, the grace, and the
The
fatness
girth?
of Dick Powers. Dick Powers, Dick Powers, Dick Powers. That should have its own little sound effect, because I want to say that on every podcast.
I would not fault you for that, because it does tickle the fancy and give warm and fuzzies. Speaking of warm and fuzzies, let's segue into the next segment here. Robert Main shows up and basically destroys the Bob limo. All this will play into effect later on in the evening. And God bless the Disintegrators, gracing us with their presence here. Do you guys want to chat about this for a second, or do we want to move on? Because they gave fucking Clint Fatwood a swirly, and that's just fucking great.
It was pretty good. And I can't wait until the Disintegrators try to come after the tag team champions, because I think that would be a really fun match.
I think that would be fucking hilarious, and we should lobby for that to happen, just for no other reason, for the sheer comp of what could come to the table here. It brought us into this is a big match here on the show with Centurion and Corey Smith. Bobby, let me chat me up here. Talk to me about this contest. What did you think about how this one played out? It was a I Quit match, and in the end, Centurion passes out, and Corey gets the W on his way to Leap of Faith.
Big match. This was a pay-per-view match on TV, and it's a treat for all of us to be able to get to see that. Great work by Centurion and Corey. I kind of feel bad for Cent because he's been just put through the grind. Corey is nothing to sneeze at. Corey's one of those guys who's in that level that you don't just pick up an easy win against Corey. There's no such thing. He's going to make you work for it if you want to win. And that's even if you want to win, it's not even guaranteed. He is tough to role play against. So all the credit in the world to both guys here, what they did on the boards and the way the match was written out. Pretty good. I was pretty pleased with it. I look forward to seeing face off again sometime in the future. TK, what do you think?
Well, you pretty much said that in a nutshell. Sint put out good work, but Corey put out some good work too. Really, Corey's been lighting up the boards. We didn't get to talk about it, but the Warfare prior, he had just taken on Betsy Granger. You know what I mean? Ramping up. Corey's ramping up. Two good back-to-back defenses, or not defenses, but matches. And yeah, this was a good match.
Yeah, I gotta agree on that one. You're bringing up what Corey's been doing on the boards. Again, he's been doing it against good talent, and Corey's one of those guys that he's a strong front runner for the winning Leap of Faith. I don't know if he's going to be in the match itself, but whatever match he has at Leap of Faith, he's a strong front runner to win. If he goes into the Leap of Faith match, look out whoever's the champ and look out everybody else in that match because Corey's going to be a tough one to beat.
It delivered, man. This match was solid, for sure, and it pads his resume going into Leap of Faith, which he was one of the first to opt in to the show, and I would imagine that he would be in that match. And you're right. Look out. He looks like he's a little motivated, and if I'm the champion, I welcome it. We move forward into another development segment with Bobby Lee going. Basically the guys are headed to the locker room and they come across the janitor. TK kind of being a douchebag and tells him he misses a spot and he spits on the floor, and they go into the locker room. Janitor ends up being Drew Archild, and he locks you guys in via forklift to kind of set the stage for what will happen later on. Here's one that I want to pick your brain on, Bobby Bourbon, because I wrote this match and I wrote it. It's the heart title. It's Morbid Angel versus it says Notorious. That's probably should be Nefarious. Ned K in a pulpit match that takes place at Morbid's mega church. Did you get a chance to read the match? And if so, how did you think it came across? Because I was a little torn writing it because I didn't know how to necessarily incorporate the aspects of a mega church.
Well, I think you touched on them well enough. The match was well written. strong word from Ned retaining, beating Morbid anytime is, that's something that you should, hold on to. That's something you slap down on your resume. TK, what'd you think?
Yeah, I like the way you incorporated church, everything all the way out to the parking lot. It was a good match. Ned showed up, did his job, and walked out the winner.
Yeah, definitely. Any kind of title retention right now for any champions is good news, and he, pulled it together over Morbid, his former Universal Champion. Adds to that winning resume that the professor, as we know him, is putting together on the boards. Strong showing. Really looking forward to seeing what he and Thad have cooked up, and for Leap of Faith, which is right around the corner. It led us to the main event. I'm gonna throw it over to you guys first. It's another Universal Championship match, as I'm Chris Page is defending against RL Edgar. TK, I'll go to you first.
Well, I can't say enough about the two guys writing for this match. I think Edgar put in some work. He smacked Page around a little bit and put Page on defense. Not for long, but long enough. Uh, I think he did a great job. It shows in the match too. Like it's a good match.
This one, this was a treat for everybody involved. It was good to read the work from RL on the boards. He really did step up his game. If he had another shot, maybe he can get it, but he didn't. So it was a tight one, but you came out ahead on this one. Did you? What was your experience through it?
I mean, this is where when you, as a writer, when you fuck up, you've got to figure something out real quick. And I don't make too many mistakes, but I did make a couple, and the couple that I made were pretty glaring. But you can't let a mistake dictate the pace and dictate what's going to happen moving forward. You have to shift things and shift narratives, if you will, and shift them frequently, which is kind of what happened here. I think Edgar uh, put up some really good shit. I told him off after the match it took place that his second was, in my opinion, was his best because he lit into me the worst, and kind of blistered me a little bit. But the end of the day, it was a really, really, really good match. He and I collabed on this one, and kind of told the story together, which is always fun. We get an interesting piece to this that I don't want to just kind of gloss over or not mention is the alias video that appears towards the end of this match.
Que sera, sera.
Exactly. The mind games are still going apparently, and all of Bobby Elite who have championships are featured in this, from me to Dixon to even you guys, the No Good Bastards. Um, let's talk about that for a second. So we're all on his radar, right? And with that briefcase, he could theoretically cash in on one of you guys and take your tag title away from you. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll jump in and say, he's earned my briefcase, so he's earned the privilege to do that. You know, I don't know how to defend against a cash in. If he cashes in, he cashes in. We'll take the return match. TK?
Yeah, that video is pretty good. Whoever put that together, just applaud them. They did a great job. I made that video, and I'm
Yeah,
sucking my
TK
own
did
dick.
awesome on that. TK did awesome on that.
It was Alias's idea. I just took it and made what he wanted. But I really liked what he did. That was pretty good stuff. being a champion, he could cash in on, man. You get nervous, right? Because it could happen at any time. Uni champ, tag champ, TV champ. Hell, Ned's not featured on that video, but there's got to be a piece of him that's going, oh shit,
There's already a piece out there for Ned floating around.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure people have seen it. So all the champions have been pretty much put on notice.
Yep.
And what I liked about this placement was that it led to the false finish at the very end. Like it was almost that last. It led to that last ditch. I don't want to call it a hope spot or a hope finish, but it gave us that possibility that you're about to see the title change hands. But at the end of the day, I end up putting him down, and from there, all the little snip segments lead to Robert Main coming out and confronting and getting him some of Chris Page, and it's really and truly Page trying to get away, and Drew has shown up at the top of the ramp and kind of blocked it off with some cones, and is in his little jumpsuit as a janitor, and he throws me back in the ring. And just when Robert's about to really lay me out, I slip away like the dirtbag heel that I am, and kind of evade and get out of harm's way before the show leaves the air. What I want to chat you up about, or you guys chat me up about, the angle with Robert Main coming off of Mayday, where he's now the number one contender. There's no denying this. We're on a collision course for Leap of Faith. How is this playing out now that we've gotten through the, I know what you did on December 23rd to present day? What are you guys thinking about the angle and where it's at?
Well, to keep an angle going that long and keeping it hot, that's the key. And you both have been keeping it hot, and I applaud you both for that one. Look forward to seeing the payoff. TK?
Yeah, Main coming in and taking out all those contenders in the Doc Battle Royal to keep this alive, it really adds in a whole nother step. You know what I mean? Robert Main not getting to take off CCP's head on this show is a lot different than when Page had, I think it was a TV title match against Lux, right?
Yeah.
Main came out and busted Page up. So maybe Page learned something the last time something like this happened with Main. So, getting out of there, he knew he had to do it. So I think you guys done a great job right here.
It's all full steam ahead. It is what it is, and we know where we're going, and we've got some work to do for sure. We get through Warfare, that gets us through there, and TK, man, I want to go to you for Anarchy. Let's cruise through this guy real quick.
Thursday Night Anarchy coming from us from Blue Line Ice Center in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Up first, we have Dean Rose versus Lord Rab. Well, no, we had a little opening segment. I'm sorry. Fuck that. I'm starting over.
Okay.
Thursday Night Anarchy coming from the Blue Line Center Ice Center in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Up first, we open the show with some pyro, right? And then there's Stephen Avery from Making a Murder. It's a nice little opening to the show. I wanted to throw that out. Then we roll into Dean Rose versus Lord Rab with Mr. Referee as the referee in an Extreme Rules match. Dean's music hits, but Dean doesn't show back up, show out, and his music hits again. Then all of a sudden, Bob's X-Tron music starts playing, which allows Miss Fury to come out and basically hold up leverage with Vinny here. and allows, if Fury and Osira win their match against St. Rubion, which is the main event, right? Fury will get her shot at the Anarchy title.
Great character development work from Miss Fury here. There's something going on. There's something she's got over Vinny, and she's using it to her advantage. Love it. Thought it laid the foundation nicely and added a little bit more to the main event.
Definitely. Then we go into Tommy Wish versus Boris in a standard match with HoloRef.gif as the referee. This was a good little match. I really enjoyed the read. It was good stuff. We have Tommy going over here. And up next, we got a Heather Graham segment. And she's just being hot as shit. Until she's being hot as shit until Oswald comes out and ruins all the sexy. And then we go to commercial. I really like that segment.
Goddamn Oswald. And how about the throwback Encyclopedia Britannica commercial? Good job, Vinny.
Well, speaking of Oswald, we have him here to talk about the next match. Big Money Oswald versus Demos on a soul on a pole match. We're unclear, but we're hanging Mini Morbid from a pole. We'll figure out the rest later, with the referee being Ari Silverstein. This was a great match. Demos challenges Big Money Oswald to a match on Oswald's show. I feel like Oswald really stepped up his game here, guys. Maybe not even stepped up, just showed out. He puts the puts the feet to Demos here and picks up a big win. I'm going to kick it to Doc first. We'll get to Oswald last.
Well, we've seen how this ended up. It ended up being a Money Oswald, Mini Morbid, Demos sandwich. Mini Morbid come into play, and they were playing catch for a while with him, and it ended up in a big power slam where Mini Morbid, I think, took the poor thing took the biggest blow of this whole thing between Demos and Big Ass Aussie there. Aussie ended up getting the 3 count after that, and what a huge win for Aussie. Demos, he come out hot. He's been hot, all along here with all the Universal title matches he's been having, and tag team matches, all the titles he's been holding. For Money Oswald to come out on top here is, quite a surprise and quite a shot for him.
Absolutely. Theo, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I think going into it, I don't know that there's anyone, no offense, Oz, that would have expected him to win, because Demos has been doing so well for a while. But it makes the fact that Big Money did come out victorious that much sweeter. I think as a whole, him being involved with Bob has been a spark for him. I think it's given him a lot to write. It's given him a lot of ideas. As somebody who loves doing stuff in stables and factions, I think this is really working for him, and I think it's showing. So, kudos to him for a big W.
All right. Paige, what are your thoughts? All right. Let's hear it from the man himself. Big Money Oswald, what did you think of this one?
Well, as you guys have been saying about Demos, Charlie, he's really fucking good. Thad, you say no offense, and I'm like, I'm taken because dude's been on a fucking roll, As for me, I've been, up and down with some of my matches lately, but I want to say thank you for sucking my dick. It felt good. It really felt good. Um, it the match itself, it was funny. I really liked it. You guys should. The writer of that match showed, you know, what they know about Oz and how he would treat a little person. And I am as surprised as you guys that I won. I just, I'm still, whenever I think about it, it's like, holy shit. I put out something that I felt was really good, and I beat somebody that's been on a huge roll. You know, I don't know where I'm gonna take this, but I'm gonna try my best from now on. And I mean, I always try my best. It's just, ugh, beating somebody like him is like a huge boost to your ego a little bit, you know.
Yeah, definitely, man. You did a really good job. No shit.
Thank you, thank you very much.
Well, anytime you can knock off Demos, there's nothing to quote unquote sneeze at, as our Professor Ned K would say. Well done and a well deserved victory. I'm very proud of you. I know that it was a topic of conversation with Miss Fury and myself and TK and several others. So really, really, really good job there, dude.
Thank you very much. Like I said, I'm gonna try and do better, especially with a leap of faith. After I entered myself into it, I'm gonna try and do the best I can. Hopefully, win. Take this momentum.
Well, listen, anytime Demos takes a loss, let's face it, that's a happy day, right? Especially to a member of Bob. Um, and even with big money and the little friction that's there between him and Chris Page, to see him rise to the occasion and take down Demos, who, let's face it, I mean, here you are, 2 weeks ago, he's challenging for the Universal Championship. And now he's going to Anarchy, which is, that's Oswald's playing field. That's he played to Ozzy's strength, and it backfired on him, and Ozzy made him pay. Well played and good job all the way around. I thought the match was phenomenal for what it was. Spoiler, I wrote that, and I wanted to give it a little bit more time, but my week last week was just for shit between work and personal. So Ozzy, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I did the best I could with it, and it was a big win for you, sir.
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed it, man.
Up next, we have having a beer with R.O. Egger. Fresh off the battle with Chris Page, the former Hart champion, wants to buy you a cold one. Page, how about you take it?
Well, reality is the character CCP just had a fucking war with R.L. Edgar. Not even 24 hours prior to that. And one thing that Page may be a lot of things. He can be a prick. He can be an asshole. He can be a dick. He can be whatever the fuck you want him to be. But the one thing that he will always be is consistent when it comes to people who he feels has the potential to be the best of the best. That's where his appreciation for RL came with the match that he gave Page. So Page, uninvited, showed up and basically just reneged on the stipulation. If you get another shot at the belt, it'll be there for you. But in closing, he said, "Don't let it be. Don't make me regret it," because it's not something that Page does often. I think RL, gave me a pretty good fight, and for that, I don't think he should be penalized and not get another shot at the belt if he chooses to run with that character or not. And that was just a way to kind of pull that back, and I did it. I reneged that as champion, so that should hold some weight.
All right. Well, then we move into another segment. It's a very frustrated Demos, who is entering Leap of Faith here. Give that a little read as we move into Thias Watts versus Maria Salvador with Richard Wang, everybody's favorite referee. This was a fun match to read. Thias Watts is a huge dude. Huge. Big motherfucker. And he picks up a big win.
Big motherfuckers doing big motherfucking things. Way to this was a debut on the show for him, if I'm not mistaken.
It was.
He comes in and he makes a splash, as you like to say, getting a big victory in his debut. Kudos.
Up next, we got the Disintegrators versus Terry Borden and Fatwood in a bunkhouse brawl with Chaz Bobo as the referee. Paige, you want to take this one?
I mean, it wasn't a match. Clint didn't pull his weight for the team, and the Disintegrators, they made us pay for that. And at the end of the day, here it wasn't a contest at all. More so, it was a drawn out segment. I wouldn't have felt bad if the Dream Maniacs would have lost this match. But at the end of the day, we've got a no contest, so maybe we can revisit it down the line when Clint's able to get some stuff done.
All right, that leads us to our main event. Ruby and Sint Rubian versus Bob, Miss Fury, and Osira Themis, with Mika Hunt as the referee. Now, as we said earlier, if Bob wins here, Miss Fury gets a shot at the Anarchy title. So lots riding on this. It's a really fun match, where at the end, Ruby and Sint pick up a win. But wait. Miss Fury wants to use her leverage, and obviously Vinnie Lane doesn't want that getting out. Whatever's on that VHA tape. And Vinnie reverses the decision here and gives the match to Fury and Osira, which allows Fury to go on to have a Anarchy title match.
I think it's really smart booking, and I think it's a really good story and a good angle the whole way around here. Holding whatever leverage over Vinny's head is it's just smart character development the whole way around. And it, Sent and Ruby picked up the win. This gave the out, and gave the shitbag heel stuff, and well done and well played, and ultimately it led to an attack on Centurion, and he got handcuffed to the ropes, and Osira and Miss Fury started doing a number on Ruby, and good old Terry Borden was there to make an assist and show the BWO world champion that he's a threat, and he's coming to the pay-per-view to take the championship.
Well, that's an event that's coming up soon. The BWO show. Everybody should watch.
Yes.
Everybody should watch that one. Right?
It's definitely got some can't miss stuff happening within the ranks of the BWO.
But there'll be a show for that, and that's not what we're doing today.
That is that is a very good point. So we're gonna that does wrap it up for as far as the actual results go. Do we want to cruise through these cards real quick and let the listeners in on what we've got in store for the next couple of shows?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
All right, man. I'll let you take Saturday Night Savage on the 15th.
Saturday Night Savage live from TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. We have Ariel Dixon versus Demos in a singles match. Centurion versus Atara Themis versus Marf in a triple threat match. And the main event, Jenny Mist versus Silfrig. I can't say his name. Sil.
We'll call him Sil for sure. I think it's 3-match show. There's last stop before Leap of Faith on the Savage for the Savage brand. Several spots out there for the Leap of Faith match to be opted into. And just for the record, just so everybody's aware, just because you opt into it doesn't mean that you're going to be selected for it. Theo and Vinny will take whoever opts in and make their assessments and book the match for the people that they feel will make the match huge and very beneficial across the board. We'll see. There's a lot of intangibles in the air there, and Syl and Jenny Miss could be a show stealer. Rolling into Warfare on the 19th, we're at the Talking Stick Arena in Phoenix, Arizona. We've got Ariel Dixon, and she's going to be taking on Mikey Kincaid. We've got Eobar Stone and Andre Dixon in Street Fight. You're going to see Demos and Thaddeus Duke hook it up in singles action. And main event on this program, good friend of the show, John Black, JB, finally getting that Universal Championship match against me, Chris Page. We've got a couple of contract signings on hand, too, between Thad and Ned K for Leap of Faith, and also between them No Good Bastards and the Descendants for the tag titles at Leap of Faith. TK, man, what's sticking out on this card for you, brother?
Well, the Eobar Dixon match, that's going to be a good one. Demos versus Thaddeus Duke. That's one you rub your hands over, right? Like, this is going to be a good match. And, of course, the Universal title match. JB could come out here and smack you around, which I'm all for. Somebody come do this.
He's got the possibility to play spoiler and knock me out of the Leap of Faith equation. For sure. Also, something that we got to loom in the back of our heads, Alias's contract. He's got that briefcase. And what's to say that Alias doesn't try and use that opportunity here and now? It's there. That's something that, as any champion, you have to be cognizant of, because it could happen at any point, and it could happen at any time. TK, we got an Anarchy card too. Let me get it pulled up. On Anarchy, we're going to be headed from the Huntington Center. We're going to Toledo. You got Thrax versus Lord Rab, and then an Extreme Rules match. Thias Watts versus Big Money Oswald in a Body Slam challenge. That one's going to be pretty solid. You got the contract signing between Rubes and Miss Fury. And the main event. Oh, I just saw this. A Flaming Tables match with Demos and Lacana on Thursday Night Anarchy. Brother, talk to me about this.
Yeah, this is a big one. Demos versus Lacana Flaming Tables match. These two characters have history, right? So...
Yes.
A Flaming Tables match on Anarchy is something we need to see.
Oh, it's something that we shall see, and it's going to be interesting to see how they approach this. I think this is Lacana's first run on the Anarchy show with 1,000 words, and Demos got his feet wet with Ghost Tank. So I mean, the Anarchy brand, it's picking up some stars. I'm not saying that they don't have stars. They've got Rubes and McKenzie's in the mix, and Lachlan and Miss Fury and Oswald, and I mean they have some people there, but you're getting Demos and Lacana. This is a big match for the Thursday Night brand.
Indeed.
And I mean, reality is this, brother. I think that's going to wrap us up. I think that's going to tie a bow on this episode.
It sure is. And with that, we send it to Vinny Lane.
Not a problem. Today, tomorrow, every day hereafter, till the end of time. Go fuck yourself, Ghost Tank.
Thanks for listening to the XWF Podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the XWF YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at XWF1999. And don't forget to check us out at XWF99.com. Be sure to join us next time where the action never slows down.